Hey crafty friends, welcome to Scrapary. Today I'm adding distress ink around the edges of my cutouts to give my Capturing Fall scrapbook page a warm rustic look. This technique is one of my favorites because it adds depth, makes the elements pop, and gives the entire page a cozy vintage feel. If you want to see the finished layout, stay tuned for part 4 where I'll be assembling everything together. Let's get creative! I'm using Tim Holtz distress ink in the color Walnut Stain because it has the perfect fall tone to complement the browns, oranges, and yellows in my layout. Lighter inks add a soft, aged look while darker inks create bold contrast. Experiment with different shades to see what works best. For my aspen trees and leaves, I'm focusing the ink around the outer edges to make them look more dimensional. This little detail really makes them stand out from the background instead of blending in too much. One of my favorite tools for this is a blending brush. It helps give me that soft feathered edge without any harsh lines. You could also use a sponge or even a makeup brush if you don't have a dedicated inking tool. I like to work in a circular motion, starting off at the edge and blending inward for a more natural look. If you want a darker, more defined edge, you can go over it a second time or use a heavier hand. Test your ink on a scrap piece first. Some papers absorb ink differently, so I always like to check out how it looks before committing. You can also layer multiple ink colors. It can create a really cool ombre effect. However, for this page, I'm keeping it simple, but sometimes I'll mix browns and oranges for even more fall vibes. Another fun way to use distressed ink is by applying it through a stencil. This can add subtle patterns or extra texture to your paper pieces. For fall-themed layouts, a leaf or wood grain stencil would be perfect. If you want to get even more creative, you can use an old toothbrush or a paintbrush to flick tiny ink splatters onto your paper for a distressed, artsy look. I love doing this with watered down ink to add some visual interest without overwhelming the design. Now that my edges are inked, this page is starting to come to life. I love how much dimension and warmth this simple technique adds. It's such a game changer for scrapbooking. If you found these tips helpful, let me know in the comments and don't forget to like, follow, and stay crafty.